All right, so I want to talk to you a little bit about how I got my first job out of high school, just graduated, no job experience in the past. This is going to be my first one, and I want to talk to you about how you can land your first job with no job experience and, with maybe not the best grades, or maybe you don't have the most extracurricular activities, or maybe you haven't even put like a resume together, or maybe you just don't even know how to kind of talk about yourself. That's a common thing, right? Like, a lot of times it's weird when people ask us to tell us about ourselves. We're like, oh, I don't know, I like basketball, and I like going to the gym, and you know so first things first is you got to learn how to introduce yourself in the proper way, and you got to learn how to talk about your strengths and your weaknesses and your experience and package it all up with storytelling in a way that's going to grab their attention. So, hiring managers, these are the people that are going to be interviewing you, talking with you when you apply for a job. If you turn in your resume, you'll just be a name in a pile, right? So they might get 15, 20, who even knows how many applications they get for the one job. But essentially, you're going to be a name in a stack of papers, and you might not even get looked at if they already find really good candidates. So what you need to do is because most job applications are online. So if it's online, then you do the online application, you submit your resume. If you don't have any work experience, try to put experience that you've had non-work related and try to see if you can get that in there. If not, then just put in your resume. If you need to make a resume, you can go to, I assume you go to a regular high school. Ask your counselor and see if they can help you out. But you can go to a site called naviance.com, Naviance, naviance.com, and literally just type in Naviance student, and then you just put what school you go to, and then you'll go to Resume Builder. There's a site where it says my profile, and then it would be resume, and then you can create your own resume, and that's where you put everything that you've done, all the experiences that you had, all the activities, everything. If you played a sport, if you were in a choir, if you did some kind of cooking club, whatever, A to Z, everything you've done in high school, get all the activities on there, because you want them to see that you have they want you to have a lot of different interests and experience and that kind of thing. If you And here's one thing you gotta kind of like comes to grip with, if you are like, bro, I have like no experience from high school, I didn't play a sport, I didn't do any extracurriculars, all I did was just like, jerk around and hang out with my friends. And it's like, yeah, I don't know what kind of job you'll be able to, I mean, you could make sandwiches at Subway, but yeah. Or, you could start your own side hustle as well. There's plenty of ways to start making money at our age. But, getting a nice first job is really good, because you get experience, and it'll move you up. It's a stepping stone. So if you do have extracurriculars, if you did play sports, if you do have activities that you can put on there, put as much on there as you can. And then once you have that resume all loaded up, make a PDF of it, and then you put that PDF in the online job application. And then after you do the online job application, what I want you to do is I want you to print out your resume, and then maybe your transcripts if you can, and then see if you can get a recommendation letter from a college, from your high school counselor, or see if you can get a rec letter from, someone else, one of your parents' friends or something, and try to get all those 3 documents, like transcripts, rec letter, and then your resume, and upload all of those into the online job application, and then print. What I want you to do is print all those 3 copies out, and then I want you to go like in person. You're gonna drive in person and you're gonna go wherever you apply to. You're gonna go to the physical location. You're gonna walk in there. You're gonna say, "Hi, I'm so and so. I just applied for this position, whatever the position is." And then you're gonna say, "Is the hiring manager here for this position?" And then the person, at the front will be like, "Oh, let me see." And then they'll give them a call. And then if they're not there, you'll be like, "I have my printed out resume and transcripts and whatever you have, rec letter here. I wanted to introduce myself, put a name to the face, and I wanted to see if I could speak to the hiring manager because I'm really interested in this position." And then they'll say, "Okay, I'll hand it off to them." And then you ask, "Could I have their email, please?" And they'll probably give you their email. If not, then, maybe ask if they can give you a phone number, but they'll probably give you their email. I mean, not that many kids go into the place that they've applied to, which is actually pretty crazy. But if you go in, you introduce yourself, you have stuff printed out, like they're gonna respect you more. Like I literally did this, and that's what helped me get my name out there and get people to recognize me and remember me. And that's what, that's kind of what got me the most recent job that I had. But anyways, if the hiring manager is there, that's great, because you can meet the hiring manager, introduce yourself, say, "Hi, I just wanted to introduce myself, put a name to the face, and I wanted to really show my interest for this position. I have a printed out resume, transcript, and rec letter for you. I just submitted the online application, but I wanted to talk with you in person." And then they'll probably be like, "Oh, that's great, thank you. I'll take all of this and I'll get in touch with you soon." And then at that point, you've pretty much done everything you needed to do. The only thing I would say is if you have the hiring manager's email after you go home, you can just email the hiring manager and say, "Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for seeing me, just talking to me, and I look forward to hearing from you soon," or something like that. There's plenty of sample thank you emails you want. I mean, that thank you email is a little much, like just for giving them your resume, but it doesn't hurt. If you do get called in for an interview, you definitely want to give them a thank you email after the interview. That's something you always do. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Just gotta, all it is you just gotta put yourself out there. And most people are just lazy, right? Most people just don't want to get up off their ass, and that's why 1% of people get 99% of the results, right? Because 1% of people are willing to do what 99% of people won't do, and that's just taking initiative, grabbing life by the balls, and going until you can't go anymore, and doing everything you need to do in order to get what you want. Because here's the thing about trying and going after what you want: you'll either get what you want after trying for years and years and years, or you'll die. Like, that's it. There's no other option. Like, literally, there's no downside of going all in after going what you want, because you'll either get it or you'll die. You know what I mean? Like, if you try for 90 years to get something, you're probably gonna die by then, and then by that point you won't care, and by that point you'll probably have a ton of other new goals, and you won't have any regrets because you live such a full life. But in the short term, it's okay if you get rejected from things, because that doesn't mean Like, just because you get rejected from something and you move on something else doesn't mean you're quitting. You have the same goal. It just means you're gonna have to reposition a little bit. And so if you do all the steps that I told you and they reject you and they give you the email saying, oh yeah, thank you, we really appreciate blah, 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 we're pursuing other candidates at this time, that's okay. The next place, you take all the same steps and you rinse and repeat the process, and you do that until you get the call for an interview. Because that's what it takes. That's what it takes. It's literally all up to you. You can find a job. And it's also about crushing the interview process, which I can make a video on how to crush your interview as well, because I've done a few of those now and had some success with that. But anyways, doing the hard thing, doing the thing that no one else wants to do, going in there, giving them your stuff, introducing yourself, no one does that anymore. No one does that anymore. I'm 18. Like, my parents had to do that when they were job hunting. That's what they had to do. That was what was expected. But now everything's online, so no one feels like they need to go in person. But that's the thing. You want to be the person that goes above and beyond, right? Like, you don't want to just be a little like fish in a sea. Like, you want to be the one that stands out, right? I assume you're watching this video because you want to be the one that stands out. And if you don't want to stand out, then I don't really care. It's your choice, but it's your loss. But yeah, it's pretty simple. You just got to get a little uncomfortable. That's all there is to it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Don't waste time.